Hey everyone, I'm Brett Karhoff, CPA and tax shareholder at Hungerford CPAs. Let's talk about a big win for taxpayers in the 2025 Tax Act, income tax brackets. The U.S. currently operates under a progressive system. This means that the first portion of your income is taxed at a low rate, the next portion at a slightly higher rate, and so on. So even if you land in a higher bracket, only the dollars in that range get taxed at that rate. Think of it like climbing stairs. Each step up, you pay a little bit more, but only on the new step, not the whole staircase. It's important to also note that not all income is taxed the same. Ordinary income, for example, like wages, salaries, and business earnings, is taxed at your regular income tax brackets. But there are some types of income that get favorable treatment. For example, profits on investments held over a year, often called long-term capital gains, and qualified dividends are generally taxed at lower rates, usually 0, 15, or 20%, depending on your overall income. This is why planning how your income is earned and reported can make a big difference in your overall tax bill. Prior to 2018, the tax brackets we were working with were 10, 15, 25, 28, 33, 35, and 39.6%. At the end of 2017, a piece of legislation called the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act was passed and lowered tax rates across the board, effective on January 1st, 2018. Since 2018, the brackets we've been working with have been 10, 12, 22, 24, 32, 35, and 37%. But this lower set of rates was only temporary. It came with a built-in sunset, meaning they were scheduled to expire after December 31st, 2025. Without congressional action, the tax rates would have jumped back to their old higher levels starting on January 1st, 2026. The recent 2025 Tax Act stepped in and made today's brackets permanent. Now, don't be fooled when you hear the word permanent. Back in the day, my mom used to go to the beauty salon and get a perm or a permanent, and contrary to what the word suggests, her hair didn't remain curly forever, and she would go back again at a later time for another one. Likewise, in the tax world, the word permanent just means there's no longer an expiration date and it'll stay in place until Congress acts to change it again. Why does this matter? So most importantly is that now there is not a surprise tax hike in 2026. And second, it gives a little stability. Taxpayers now have the ability to plan ahead with confidence, knowing the rates won't suddenly shift at year end. So while the brackets may be locked in, your knowledge about the 2025 tax reform doesn't have to be. Do yourself a favor and like, share, and subscribe so you don't miss future updates and tips from Hungerford.